My friend, I cannot believe what I'm seeing unfold right now. I can't believe it. I swear to God, I never thought I'd be talking this much about Candace Owens. And I think to myself, okay, that's it. We're finally done with it. Let's move on. And then something else will happen. Somebody will rise up and denounce her. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, what are you doing? I mean, she is in the middle of this firing squad, a circular firing squad. In essence, the people who you think would understand free speech more than anyone, the people who have said some of the most stupid things ever that I've defended, and others as well, not defend what they say, but their ability to say it, they're coming out of the woodwork, trying to push people out of the way. Let me attack her. Let me stone her. I mean, I can't believe this. I cannot believe what I am watching unfold right now regarding her. I truly can't. I'm not just saying that. The speed and the ferocity and the hypocrisy of it all and them are staggering. People who built their entire public identity and their money around defending speech and dissent and heterodoxy and platform independence are now lining up to demand that Candace Owens shut up and be shut up and shut down and disappear or worse. And they're not subtle about it. Let me tell you something. You put people into danger when you start coming after them like that. There is a bounty on her head, figuratively and in some cases explicitly. Let me say something about that quickly. Do not think I'm exaggerating. Do not think I'm exaggerating. Do not. This is a sick world. I tell people all the time, I don't know where you've been, but just like these idiots who put pictures of their kids on Facebook, these are people in Congress. People with bullseyes on them. Here's my children. Here we are at home. This is where I live. So you've got to be careful. So when you come after her all the time, what do you want? Especially when she brings up Charlie, the only one who gives a damn about Charlie Kirk, up to and including his wife. And I'm going to say it. What is the matter with these people? Are you looking at a different Erica Kirk than I am? Am I missing something? Where have you been? My God, don't you know how to read a witness? The tone against Candace is punitive, and the intent is exclusionary. The message is clear, my friend. She's crossed some line, and now must be removed. Ooh. From people who if I didn't know better, I think you're a sellout. Who's paying you? Who's paying you to come after her? Is that it? Is that how it works? Whoever, all of a sudden people pop out of the door and say, what are you doing? Where are you? Oh, you're against her? Et tu, Brute? And from whom is this coming? Not the usual suspects. No. Not the obvious ideological enemies. Oh, no. This is something. This is something. Pay attention. This is coming from people who should know better. And maybe they're paid better. People who lectured the world about free expression. Oh, they were so loud and so vocal. Oh, they were so fantastic. So definitive in their protestations and detestation of the clamping down of freedom of speech. People who wore their deplatforming scars like medals. People, many of us, defended and still do. Not because we agreed with everything they said. Let me be clear about this. To defend somebody's right, whether it's Fuentes or Milo or Megan or Bannon or whoever the hell it is, or AOC or Jasmine Crockett, I don't want anybody shut down because they're wrong or stupid. Say what you want. Turn the goddamn channel if you don't like what they say. Hashtag so what? This is rudimentary. I can't believe I'm even saying this. I don't agree with these people, but I believe in their right to say it, especially after we just came out of COVID and people are now coming back. It's like the flowers are coming. It's spring again. Hey, remember that guy? Hey, come on, welcome back. He's an idiot, but so what? Come on back. At least, welcome, talk. I'll disagree with you, but we need more people. Oh, no, not with Candace. Oh, no, she's gone too far. People who insisted that they didn't need permission and who rightly celebrated that independence, they're now coming against her in droves en masse. And those people are now calling for Candace Owens to be sidelined and erased and neutralized. Why? Why? Why do you think? Come on, use your head. Because she threatens them. Everybody. This isn't about disagreement or about being wrong. Are you kidding? Or disinformation or misinformation or that information, whatever it is. Disagreement is healthy. Disagreement is necessary. Ask Einstein about Newton. Ask about disagreement. Ask about how things change. The Beatles disagreed with Gershwin to an extent. That's how we got new music. I've disagreed with Candace Owens publicly, privately, on several matters. So what? If you've got most notably her allegations involving Brigitte Macron. I thought and still think she was entering very, very dangerous legal territory. And I said it out of concern, not because I want to shut her up. I still think she has the right to say it, but be careful of the repercussions. And I told her, I said so. I did tell her, I've never spoken to her, but I've said so. I warned the defamation law doesn't care about vibes or suspicions or internet momentum. Doesn't care about that, especially in Delaware, where this jury is going to be impaneled. I caution. She was exposing herself to serious risk. But at no point did I ever suggest for a second that she be silenced. At no point, never did I even intimate, hint, or suggest that she should be removed from the conversation. I mean, they're hitting it with anti-Semite, pro-Arab, they're running out, what, racist? You're going to try that one? They're running out of labels, and none of it's working. Because you're here, because you agree with me, because you're smart enough to realize, Jesus, do you see what's happening? That's the line we're talking about. That's always the line. Don't cross the line from disagreeing with her or despising her to shutting her down. What is happening now crosses that line because of jealousy, because she threatens people, because she's becoming too powerful. And these idiots don't understand that by virtue of the volume of their protestations, you're merely elevating her commercial worth. These aren't critiques. These are calls for her exile. These are not debates. These are character assassinations, or worse. They are naming her. They are targeting her. They're isolating her, turning her into a pariah. And we're next, and you're next. This isn't principle. This is personal. This is jealousy, commercial jealousy, masquerading as moral concerns. Cable news hate her. She'll do in one video what CNN will do in a week. Think about that. Oh, you don't know how bad they are. You don't know. I mean, nobody's watching this. Cable? What's next? Shortwave? I've got an idea. How about little baby monitors? Nursery monitor? Where you can... CB radio? How about that frequency at the airport? At 1600, the red zone. She is destroying them. And what I keep telling them, if you want her to go away, ignore her. Don't bring up your arch enemy's success. Candace Owens is blowing everything up, and they can't stand it. And me, I guess I'm a schmuck. I'm thinking, hey, that's great for all of us, right? Right? Hello, anybody here? Have you? What? What is she saying? She is to opinion and digital media what Elon Musk is to modern rocketry, or better yet, model rocketry. She disrupted the entire model. She didn't ask permission. She didn't wait her turn. She didn't go through the approved hoops and the channels. Now make sure you do. Make sure you go incrementally to this. Make sure you check with this one. Oh, he was here first. Ooh, you know what? What? She built a direct relationship with you, the audience, that no committee controls and no gatekeeper can throttle, and it's driving these people nuts. I mean, it's driving them nuts. She said something. She says something about Egyptian pilots or something. Look, I can't tell you I'm an expert, but let her say it. Tell her she's wrong. Disprove her. Maybe help her out. But oh, no, this through the line. Well, you can't say that about Egyptian pilots. What about them? I don't know. But if that brings her down, fine. Oh, for the love of God. You sound like the anti-COVID crowd. You sound like the ivermectin crew. She outpaces institutions that spent decades and billions building relevance. And she does it with a phone, a camera, and conviction, and a relentless work ethic, and authenticity, and likability. And she's hit a nerve, and they can't figure it out. That terrifies people. People who thought they owned the space. People who along the way realized that what brought them to the market, look, whatever you want to say, disagree with me, go ahead. But I'm legit. I'm not just making this up. Okay, I'm not. When I say something, believe it. That's all. That's all. Believe it. And let's be honest, speaking of believing it, many of these voices believed free speech was some kind of a shield for them. You know, Kevlar, right? Well, apparently this is not a principle for everyone. See, they loved it when it protected their dissent. Oh, they loved it. They celebrated it when it allowed them to challenge orthodoxy. But the moment that Candace Owens surpassed them in quantifiable commercial influence and reach and engagement and power and cultural relevance, well, then the rules changed. Suddenly, speech needs boundaries. That's right, boundaries. Suddenly, platforms need responsibility. Suddenly, her tone matters. Suddenly, the same people who screamed about censorship, who screamed about the inability to speak, are now whispering and screaming about deplatforming her. And a lot of these people are being paid off, and you know it's true. And you know who I'm talking about. Okay? You know. You know how this thing goes. My friend, that is not growth. That's exposure that we're talking about. And I find it disgusting, reprehensible. I find it beyond the pale. This is existentially stupid. How's that for a... It's just stupid. This is our business. What are you doing? And I find it deeply disappointing. I mean, profoundly disappointing, because some of these people I once respected, and they were once respected voices, people who were really in the Hall of Fame. They understood something essential, that free speech is not about agreement. Free speech is about allowance. It's about expansion. It's about trusting that truth will emerge through conflict, not suppression. Let people speak. Celebrate them. Celebrate their words. And now they want her gone. Can you see it? And this is war. This is war. They want her gone. Not corrected, not challenged, but gone. And I'll let you fill in the blank. Well, what kind of gone? In this day and age, there's no telling. Do you know what that tells me? It tells me they are not confident in their own ideas. They're not secure in their relevance, their own relevance. They are not winning on merit. They're afraid. Oh, I've seen this a million times. For those of us in the biz, we've seen this. And here is the warning that they don't want to hear, and they sure as hell don't want you to hear. Be careful. Be very, very careful, because you're next. And I don't say that loosely. I don't say that. I thought after COVID and what we went through, I thought for sure after Trump got in, I thought we would be so imbued in the celebration of free speech that we would never let this happen again. The precedent that they are setting, and I hope not you, but they are, will not stop or erase Candace Owens. No. The machinery that they're feeding does not distinguish between ideological allies once it is activated. The same crowd that cheers her removal will eventually come for you when you deviate even slightly, even in a smidgen from the new approved line. And you know why also they do this? Because they love the power. Oh, they love censorship. Oh, they love it. Once they get away with it once, oh, they want to do it again. That was fun. Whose scalp can we collect now? We used to say the left did it. Oh, no. Remember, everybody I'm talking about now, I'm talking about is the right. I'm not talking about the left. Oh, I understand this. And when that happens, my friends, you are going to need people like me and others and Candace to stand by you, to say that we do not agree with everything that you said, but we defend your right to say it. Isn't that axiomatic? Isn't that what we Americans say? Isn't that part of our, who's that, Nathan Hale or Patrick Henry? I get them confused. Do not burn that bridge, my friend. Do not. This moment is not about Candace Owens alone. I mean, she's the subject, she's the target, but it's not about her. It's about whether, something even far more fundamental, it's about whether opinion itself is allowed to breathe, to exist. Whether the digital public square remains open or becomes managed, who knows? Whether influence is earned through persuasion or granted through some kind of approval, we'll see. Whether dissent is tolerated and to be tolerated only when it is small or allowed, even when it is powerful. This is what we're talking about. These are the issues. These are the issues. And like I said, every time I say, okay, we're done with this Candace Owens, nope, something else. Candace Owens represents something that cannot be put back in the bottle, in the toothpaste tube. She represents independence. Remember that? What's that called? Yeah, the independence, right? We celebrate independence. Remember that? Remember that? We kind of like that word. But that's what we're talking about with her. She represents the end of permission-based relevance. Please, sir, can I say it, please? Please, Mr. Platform Man, let me talk, please. No, sorry. We don't do that. As we say in the South, that dog don't hunt. Candace Owens represents what happens when an individual voice bypasses institutions entirely and speaks directly to millions. That's what happens. And if you don't like what she says, let's go someplace else. That's what that channel thing, the off button is is like a channel changer. And see, what I'm saying scares people. Oh, this scares people who build careers inside systems that no longer control the flow. Now, let me tell you something. There's nothing worse than that version of the Japanese soldier who doesn't know the war is over. Instead of adapting, instead of competing, instead of improving, they're trying to eliminate. They're trying to say, we have to do this. Not to mention, as I said, a lot of these people are being paid off directly. Just go after her. Remember I told you the story about Moby in, 2016 or something, where he said that his social media accounts were either bought by or given to, so to speak, leased to the CIA or intel organizations to take his group, his crowd, and then direct it in support of the war or against the war or pro-Russia gate or whatever it is. That's what they're doing right now. How many times do you have to hear leaders tell you, oh, we want to go after social media platforms. That's what we're doing. Well, this is a way to do it. Theoretically, if I could get to, let's say, I don't like Joe Rogan, okay, which I do, and I've respected him, but let's say I don't like Joe Rogan. So what I do is I say, hey, Candace, come here. Are you amenable to this? Here you go. Turn all of your folks against him. You know what that does? First of all, I dilute his power by having people turn on him, and I use the very platform that supports him to bring him down. Sound familiar? You think this is brand new? It's the oldest move in the book. It's the oldest move in the book. I do not recognize this behavior, again, from people who once spoke so eloquently and so persuasively about liberty. I do not recognize, I do not countenance, I do not abide this cowardice from those who once mocked cancel culture. I do not recognize this sudden embrace of limitations of speech. I don't like it. I don't want it. I do not embrace suppression from those who once warned against it. Am I making this clear? I hope so, because you cannot claim to defend speech only when it's convenient to you. And you have to put jealousy and petty jealousies and commercial and competitive jealousies aside. You can't say you believe in open discourse and then panic when someone else dominates it. Plus, you're feeding information to the enemy. You cannot pretend this is about standards or safety or responsibility or whatever you want to call it, when the real issue is envy and loss of control. I hope I'm getting through. I know you get it, but maybe I hope the right people hear this. Candace Owens, it's not about Candace Owens. She happens to be the target now, but Candace Owens does not need my agreement. She doesn't need my consent. She doesn't need my approval. She does, however, need my protection and yours. But she deserves the same defensive principle, the identical defensive principle that others received when they were under fire, and we were there to support them. It is axiomatic, my friend. That is what I'm trying to say. That is what consistency looks like. That's it. Be not mistaken. This is bigger, and I know you know this, I'm saying this, but this is bigger than personalities, bigger than feuds and squabbles and the like. This is bigger than factions and fractionalized contretemps. This is about whether we actually mean what we say, whether we're legitimate, whether we're authentic, when we talk about free expression. It's really simple. It's existential and it's axiomatic. When those words were a belief or a brand, we all said it. Well, to me, it's more than a brand. It's more than just something that we say. It's real. If you abandon the principle now, and this is the most important, but if you abandon the principle that I'm talking about right now, do not be surprised when no one comes to your defense later. I've said this before, and I have to repeat it because I don't think people really understand this. I don't think people get it. We have to make for the government and everybody the notion of the denial of free speech to be most unpopular. Because this movement was never supposed to be about who gets to speak. That's not it. It was supposed to be about making sure and ensuring and guaranteeing that everyone can. Remember, the left wants to stop you from speaking, but the right wants to stop you from thinking. You see what this is about? And the moment we forget, that is the moment we lose everything that we claimed to believe in, that was axiomatic and existential. That's where we lose completely. And we are better than that. We're smarter than that. We're not going to let that happen. So let me say again, this is not about Candace Owens per se. It is about her being the subject of attacks, not from the left, we understood that, but from the right, from the very people that I thought knew better. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for letting me intrude upon your day. But this is critical. This is battle stations, my friend. This is DEFCON, whatever the hell the number is. This is code red, baby. Please do me a great favor. Please like this video. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. I appreciate that immensely. Also, subscribe. And also, I have some pictures. What am I saying? Pictures. I'm losing it. Some comments for you and questions that I would be most appreciative if you answer. By the way, I want all questions. Come forward. Everybody's welcome. I want to hear your speech. I may not agree with it, and you might not agree with mine, but at least you respect my sincerity, and at least you provide me with a forum to speak, as I will you. As you comment, as you see fit.